Yeah, man, share me more about your passion in the sport performance and, why you created FAST.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that. Yes, FAST, man. Here we are, man. We're in the lab now. FAST is an acronym for fitness and sports training. And mainly, the passion comes behind seeing athletes amount to their efforts.
Yep.
They come in, they tell me that they want to get better, and they show up, and the energy that I'm giving them, plus the energy they bring in to collaborate, the product from that, man, it can be amazing, And it's exciting to see the growth of each athlete, and that keep me passionate, to be honest. Every day is an exciting day to watch these athletes grow and get better from the last session,
Yeah.
And that drives the passion and the excitement,
100%. Tell us a little bit more about like the background, like were you a football player, were you an athlete, and like how did that come about from you taking your background in sports into a facility like this?
Yes, sir, man. Hey, from Atlanta, Georgia, played football, soccer, ran track, played a little bit of basketball. I was all right, played a little rec basketball, but mainly honed in on football later on in my high school career.
Yeah.
Hey, played running back and brought my efforts down to Charleston Southern. That's where I got a full scholarship there.
Oh, sweet.
And there I majored in accounting at first. Then it was just in the field a little bit, went to an accounting office. It was just a little bit slower and wanted to switch to physical therapy, but they wasn't offering that at the time.
This PT, interesting. Okay.
So I found out about kinesiology, and that's the study of how the body moves. And that was in the same realm of the physical therapy, but it was a little more active and not as clinical.
Yep.
So I really went down that path, and that's what I ended up finishing my bachelor's with.
Yeah.
And man, since then, just had a range of different jobs, but how I ended up opening FAST was honestly to help the community understand that there's more than just doing some things with your team, you know? Because doing some things with your team is definitely important to build that community aspect, to build that brotherhood, that sisterhood, to be able to have that accountability, as well as, hey, you grinding with your crew.
Right.
Additionally to that though, each athlete, they do have a personal journey.
Right.
It's like one day they're gonna graduate and now what's next? So I'm here to help remind them like, hey, 100% do everything with your team, always show up. But remember while you're there, like, hey, you're here to help the team, but you're also there for your personal journey, because once you graduate, there's another person gonna be coming.
100%.
And your personal journey is gonna matter about what you do throughout the time you're in high school to get you to that next level,
Yep, 100%.
So yes, sir.
That makes a lot of sense. And so like, how did the idea of, creating your own gym facility, like how did the idea come to you, and what was that journey and process like? I'm sure it wasn't easy, right?
Right. Man, great question, man. Well, I'd say I was working at a gym called Orange Theory Fitness.
Okay.
And man, I loved it there. I had a lot of fitness classes that I would run daily.
Yep.
And would connect with the members after classes. But during the time
You were an instructor there.
Yeah, I was an instructor there teaching classes. And at the time, I was still, do need to go back for a second.
Yeah.
Before working at Orange Theory, directly after college, I ended up finding a job in my field, right? That's crazy. Ended up finding a job at Velocity Sports Performance.
I heard of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Out in Mount Pleasant, which is now Sky Zone, an indoor trampoline facility.
Okay.
It used to be a sports performance facility it closed back in 2013. So since it closed in 2013, I actually was the operations there right before we closed the last 6 months, because we didn't have anybody running it. So it was like I had an opportunity to step up and try to run a larger business for the first time.
Yeah.
And I stepped in there, and our last few months we put out some numbers,
Right.
So we held on, but was really cool with the owner, and he was like, hey, anybody that you create a relationship with, I don't mind if they go with you because we're closing, So from there, we'll be training at local parks. And that's when I met a young lady named Marianne, and she came to give me a certification. That certification is called Exercises Medicine. It's through ACSM, the governing body ACSM, and it is a certification to connect fitness and healthcare.
Yeah.
We would go to different hospitals to work with either cancer patients or those who wanted to increase their livelihood just coming back from still illness or sickness,
Right.
But it kind of died off a little bit just because some of the doctors didn't have a way to certify who was good as a trainer, as well as a opportunity to create that pathway. But it's still time,
Right.
So to complete the question, from there, when I met Marianne, and that ended up being the owner of Orange Theory Fitness.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and she brought me on. She was like, hey, I'm opening a gym, come check it out. ended up checking it out and ended up working there for 3 years.
Wow.
Working there for 3 years. 2017, I just got an overwhelming feeling that I've been working with these athletes and that was my passion. You know, it was just woke up one morning and was like, I think I need to make a full-time decision, you know?
100%.
Because you can't ride that line forever. You gotta make a decision. And that's when Fast was born, 2017.
That makes sense. I feel like you worked for 3 years. You understood after working for the Sport Performance Velocity that they're unfortunately they closed down. So now there's a void in the market of no sport performance facility in Charleston.
Yes.
And with your experience, you kind of thought it was kind of time for you to go towards your passion.
Man, yes. And if I, you know, hindsight, of course, would have been a little bit more direct on that path. It could have been a little bit more, the transfer could have a little bit more clean.
Yeah.
I did end up opening a small training facility out in Mount Pleasant off of 41.
Yep.
I was renting some space. The surface still there. It's an indoor futsal facility. So I was training out of there right after Orange Theory.
Okay.
But I still didn't have in mind about like one day, like I'm gonna have this big gym. It was more like, you know,
It'd be cool.
it'd be cool, like, but I didn't have a direct plan yet. And then how it happened was I was training, it was like an August day. I was training at Colonial Lake.
Yeah.
And one of my clients came up to me and was like, Reggie, man, it's hot, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, it's time to get you a warehouse, man. It's time to get you indoors. And literally him saying that, just like I received it, how he said it. It was like people said stuff like, me get a gym. I'm like, yeah, one day. But how he said it made me feel like, you're right, it's time.
Yeah. And
You
who
know?
was this guy to you? That's it.
A really good friend of mine, James Van Allen. I know he wouldn't mind if I shouted him out, but that's my guy. I was training his children at the time.
Okay.
And he threw it out there like, hey man, started looking into it. And that's all it took. And chatted with him about it as far as like, hey, how should I go about it? Like what? And he just like, hey, if let's find you a commercial agent. You know, you can start there.
Yeah.
Just at least try to find some listings, you know?
Right.
And man, literally about 6 months later, we found there was a place about 2 miles up going closer towards downtown. It was nice, but we found out that the landlord is gonna be tearing the building down in 5 years. So, because they honestly, right now, it is something else. They just put something over there. It's by this place called Boomtown. It used to be a business called Boomtown. The warehouse is something over there, but it was the Pacific Box and Crate, excuse me. That's what it is. It's right across the street on King. But that didn't work out. And at the time, you know, when you hear about something that potentially may work out, you kind of get a little excited. Like, okay, I might have a gym, man, gonna be on King Street. Like, it sounds good, like, you know? Like, man, like, but I didn't tell a lot of people. It was just like, man, you know, like pulling for me, like hoping things work out.
Right.
But it didn't work out. But that next week, after that didn't work out, this place came about.
Wow, okay.
And I just remember I had my little puppy at the time, I had a little Frenchie, and I had him in the car. He just came over here and meet the guy. And it was a completely empty building. The whole warehouse just had concrete and no walls.
Got it.
And they was like, what you think? I'm like, I don't really know what to say because there was no bathrooms, nothing.
Right.
And I'm just like, but he gave me a little time to look around the facility by myself. He stepped outside and the vision was born.
Got it.
Literally, I was looking around and
See how this can work.
right, man, I did a little prayer about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, like, is this for me? Like, is this potentially Fast's new home?
Yeah.
You know? And it just started bubbling, man. I started to look at it like, man, I could do something over here. Like, start to visualize.
Right.
And then it closed on it. I was like, I want to do it.
Yeah.
The craziest part is, didn't even really have the money for it at the time.
You'll figure it out later.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, how much is the down payment to get in? I was like, I can do that part, but it's like, man, okay, the next month is gonna be coming. So a lot of times when you sign a new commercial lease, you get an abatement, which is like 1 or 2 months of no non-rent pay to help you build out. So I was like, okay, maybe I get a month of that. After that, those bills are gonna be hitting. So we signed the lease June, and we didn't open until December.
June of
2018.
2018.
Yes, excuse me, yes. And there was a few months that we had to pay without being here, without even utilize the building, but man, God works in mysterious ways. Like, we ended up just keep working out, you know?
Right.
That's one of the ways that I knew this was for us.
Right.
It was like, it just keeps working out. At the last minute, the 11th hour, man, someone would come by the largest package out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like literally on the 31st and be like, hey, I just heard we got your number from such and such, man. Like, boom, and they'd be like, damn, that's what much we was missing.
Yeah.
I get chills thinking about it, because it's like, man, like, it's so many of those things, right? So many of those times that happen in this building, man, that we've been blessed, man. And I give all the glory to God, because I can't say that we did this. It was things that I didn't even know,
Right.
you know, that were gonna happen. I just had to trust God, you know, I had to trust the vision and understand that we're doing the right thing, you know? It's for the kids, you know?
100%. That's amazing. And everything came together. It's like the right people was in your circle. They saw your passion, something in you to even evoke this dream of yours that you thought was just going to be a cool dream.
Right.
That now
it was like something
real. Yeah.
8 years in, man, coming up in December, man.
That's amazing. So through that process, besides kind of getting the funding, the money's always an issue. About starting a business. What other, bottlenecks or other challenge that you had during that time that was, that you came back from?
Well, just learning myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
And through, I'd say, detachment. Like, hey, I can't, my friends don't know what this is like building out something right now.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of people to talk to about this. And I'm trying to rebuild my emotions again from, coming from a little hit, and also the understanding how business works.
Yeah.
Business is not just being able to provide a service for a client and you get paid for it or get an exchange for it. There's systems, there's structures, there's things to create in place to where you don't have to do the same thing from scratch over and over, And it took me a couple years to learn those, to be honest.
Yeah.
And we probably missed a lot of people, man, to be honest, in the first few years. Just leads, not following back up with them. Also, not having a system of actually capturing them all,
Right.
So apologize for those who out there who reached out in the early days. Hey, we was grinding. We definitely wanted you to be here, but hey, catch me on the backside. We're still here, baby.
Right. No, I love it. And I feel like that's all I feel like every business, doesn't matter what industry that you are go through that, it's just like a big learning curve.
Yeah.
And somehow, as long as you put in effort, it always kind of work out, right?
Most definitely.
But that's great, man. So now that you have FAST, it's a beautiful facility.
Thank you.
Who is FAST for, and the type of clients or students that you want to kind of reach out to?
Great question, man. Great question. FAST is for, I'd say, a person desiring to want to move better, feel better about their body, about just the overall confidence in their body, not just through how it looks, but their ability, The FAST is for the common, regular athlete that wants to get a little bit faster. FAST is also for athletes that are already established and already have their name out there that want to take it to the next level, So FAST is, I say FAST is for all, but FAST is for those who want to work, because this facility is built off of those who commit to getting better. And if you commit to getting better, we're gonna give our best for you,
100%. Yeah, let's go back to, now that you have FAST, it's been 8 years now, right?
Man, yes, coming up, man, yes.
By super fast, right?
Right.
Pun intended. What's kind of the vision now for the next 3 to 5 years for FAST?
Man, been actually working on that recently because it's like, okay, now here we are, number one, to scale, to where it's like, hey, now that we see what we can create, is how large can we create this? How many more lives can we affect in the best way to reach their goals? The ultimate goal out of leaving from FAST is to gain a full athletic scholarship.
Yeah.
So if you want to train at FAST from a youth and all the way through, the actual prize is to gain the scholarship from your training and your efforts outside of here, you know? But the future for FAST, man, guess we gotta wait and see, man.
Yeah.
We are definitely just getting started though,
100%.
And we got a lot of energy, so, oh yeah, baby.
I love that. From your experience in the gym and working with so many athletes, of course, I've filming back in the day, filming professional athletes too.
Yes,
the
sir.
Patriots guy,
Most definitely, Bijan Robinson.
Bijan.
Yes, sir.
It's like, and then you have so many development now with like technology and students athletes getting faster and the NIL and all that. What do you think is like the biggest change that you've seen with athletes these days? What has gotten better and what are they missing that you think will be interesting to really share?
I'd say, I'm gonna start with what's missing. And it's not a huge component, but it matters. Because the athlete, the new age athlete, the 2026 athlete is very athletic and is evolving daily, One aspect that I would say consistently to add is to have fun. Go outside, hang with your buddies, go do the same moves in your backyard still, That's how the foundations of the guys that they look up to got to that point. So it's not a trade-off, it's both. it's like go to your speed trainer, go to your team practice, but still play pickup football a little bit in the backyard. You know what I mean? Because that's when you're keeping it fun instead of it being like a business and you're going so hard that now you kind of burnt out before you even finish college.
Yeah.
Now you're like, I don't even really want to go pro because I got to do all this again. You know, now it becomes like a task.
Okay.
And so the way to reduce burnout is to keep it fun, you know?
Yeah.
So, and also have to end that question, to have never a plan B, but an additional that you into other than just in a sport, because we're made of more than just physical talent.
Yeah.
So if it's like, hey, yes, moving your body is gonna do major things for you. It's gonna make you feel better, more confident, and also can help you gain brain cells just to do different movements. But I'd say also don't only lean on your athletic ability. You know, it's more about what else can you do? With the same, if you can go that far being an athlete,
Yeah.
you might be able to go just as far or farther in another realm as well, you know?
100%. Yeah.
But on the other question that is, with the advancements that I've seen, man, athletes have definitely improved because they get more examples of what the pros are doing. I say that's the biggest switch over. The fact that Instagram and YouTube is out,
True. Yeah.
they get to see like real time what their favorite ball player is doing to train.
Yeah.
And they get to emulate that through some common videos, you know?
Right.
And that makes a huge difference because they starting at like 8, 7 years old.
Right.
And they doing that all the way through for fun though.
Right,
And then they getting a trainer in high school. Now we're looking at some healthy transitions right here.
That makes sense. I'm not saying we're that old, but I remember when I was playing sport, Instagram wasn't that big.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, man, it was like just coming out like that.
Yeah. Right. And that wasn't that long ago, but now
Right.
it's like, you're right. It's like you turn on Instagram, you can get access to all the examples.
Right, your
now.
best trainer, they show his behind the scene. He like,
Right.
dang, like your best athlete, you know?
Yeah.
Favorite, you know?
Man, that's awesome, man. What's kind of like the philosophy of your training style at the facility, and what's like a session look like when an athlete come in usually?
Good question, man. Well, our training methodology, I say, so some might be hedonistic because, you know, I've been through a college weight room strength and conditioning program many times for 5 years. And I've trained athletes in that way. So that is 100% important to gain. But to be a specific performance specialist, I'd say we have to hone into the things that they're not getting at the school, you know? And for that, that's where we're tapping into their energy system and their nervous system to make a change session by session. So on a typical class or a training session, we start off with a dynamic warm-up. I have 7 different types that we do. So on a given day, depends on what you have going on as well as what the workout is like. Then we'll go into maybe some movement prep or some what I call BCS. This is on our website as well. BCS is balance, coordination, and stability. Then from there, we're going to our speed or power work. While the energy is still is high and the body is already primed, going straight into that transfer of that load or try to move as fast as possible, you know?
Yeah.
From there, we'll variate with the exercises, then finish with some strength and conditioning, you know? Always finish strong in the class because, hey, you wanna know that you gave your best before you leave the building.
100%.
If not, get your butt back in there, hit a couple more reps, you know what I mean? Like seriously, because you got a limited time, you got 1 hour to dedicate to yourself. What you gonna do with that?
Yep.
You know?
Yep, gotta stay competitive. That's the whole point of that.
Yes,
right?
sir.
That's great. Like for the parents or people out there that's trying to help their kids perform athletic, to improve athletic.
Yeah.
You know, what can you tell them about like the difference of them joining a performance center compared to like a regular like everyday gym? Because they're probably inundated with information and the different facility their kids can join and stuff like that.
Yes.
But there is a difference of like why this is a better fit for their athletes, their children, right?
Yes, most definitely. Hey, going to your local community fitness center, going to your local gym is always going to be good to, you know, help get your body moving, to get some resistance to get your body. Well, I'll say the main difference would be here and then just a local gym that you can go to is each session is specialist led and we take them through the necessary movements to where they can see some changes the day of, you know? And with that, we do assessments with each athlete to find out what they specifically need. That's one of the things we'll do on day 1. Bring them in, like the moment they walk through the door, we're already looking at how they walk, how they hold their shoulders, what are they doing with their arms. That's already telling us a lot. All right, from there, we'll take them through a 9-step movement pattern, I say screen, to find out if there's any injury we need to know about, as well as, hey, can you move correctly, or is there any structural things we need to work on, you know, or any structural issues that we need to deal with? And from there, it'll give us a good view of what this athlete is maybe lacking or maybe need to put more attention into. And we create a plan with that, and we also add that intensity because, hey, sports, especially being a skilled athlete, hey, it's kind of violent. You gotta be dynamic and you gotta be explosive. And being explosive is not soft. It's the opposite of that. You know, you gotta, your output has gotta be all out and max. So we gotta, and that's a skill itself. Being able to reach a level to be able to push hard, you gotta build up to that. You gotta find out who you are on the inside enough to where you can scream on the end like, you know? Because sometimes you've never seen that version of yourself, so it kind of feels weird to like even tap into that.
Yeah.
So it's all of it, man. It just takes time, I'll say, and it is a marathon with training. Just because you stop with your sport, I would advise everyone to continue to train for life. You know, that's the main reason. Sports shows us what our body is capable of, but the real reason that we can move like this is to help us stay active and alive, you know?
100%.
So, hey, that sport is just the extra.
100%. That makes a lot of sense. Like, to add on top of that, like after training probably thousands of student athletes at this point,
yes, sir.
What do you see like is the most like weak point for these athletes?
Man, consistently, I say across the board is mobility and running form. I say mobility and running form.
Yeah.
Because we'll see some fast athletes that'll come through here, but they just know how to get after it, you know?
Yeah.
Once they start to hone in on what it actually takes to be faster and how to run in a straight line, how to keep their body from point A to point B and reduce the amount of negative output to put it into linear speed, you know? So man, that right there, that changeover is amazing. But I say the number one thing is mobility.
Gotcha.
A lot of these athletes, and that's why we see a lot of injuries throughout the different seasons of different athletes, because they aren't doing the necessary movements and stretching prior or after training, and it's costing them. You know, muscles are fatigued, muscles tight, as well as just drinking enough water.
Yeah.
That's a big one, man. I've had plenty of athletes come through this door that tell me they don't even drink water. He's like, I don't really drink water like that. It's like, wow, that's crazy. What do you do then? Like drying out. So yes, mobility and running form. Those two things, top every day. Somebody called to ask about those. My son's tight, or my daughter, she can barely even touch her toes and she runs like Gumby. You know what I mean? But yes, sir.
That makes sense. What, you know, and with all these athletes that you train, what's like one of your favorite story of athlete that came through that? I'm sure you had a lot of like successful, great stories with the athlete you train, but like what's one story you can share where you're like, man, I'm proud of that athlete, or that athlete life just completely changed?
Man, well, to keep it recent, I have an athlete from over at Philip Simmons High School. Shouts out to Brady Cobb. Came from an injury last season, runs track, runs the 100, 200, and 4x1. And also was just understanding high school track, you know, like the competitive side behind it. So didn't do as good as he wanted to last season. Reached out early last summer and started to come, you know, drop in here and there to our classes.
Yeah.
By the end of the summer, he was like, Coach, I want to take this serious. I want to lock in with you with some private trainings, as well as come to class at least 2 to 3 times a week. He did that. He went from barely placing, coming in 8th and 7th, to coming 2nd in the state over the last 2 weeks ago, in the 100, and the 200, excuse me.
Crazy.
Yep, and he PR'd 4 times this season. So that was, for us here at FAST, that was very amazing to see. This through his fortitude and his discipline to stay at it, because it can get defeating, man, especially coming from injury and you know who you truly are, but you can't really put it out. Man, sometimes it make you wonder, like, man, it's just like, am I ever gonna get there?
Yeah,
you know?
right.
So for him to push through those emotional hills, as well as to actually rebuild the strength and come back to come 2nd in state, man.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
to get that silver medal, so proud of him, man. And hey, I just say we just collaborated. You know, I can't say that I can't really take any of the confidence of that. It's like, hey, we collaborated. He put his efforts in. I just showed him how to do the exercises. You know?
Right.
So Brady Cobb, man, good job, baby. Hey, you got senior year coming up. Yes, sir.
I love that. I mean, and it's also kudos to him for taking action and coming in and getting training. But
wow,
yeah, that's the difference with you know, doing yourself and having someone that's specialized and really
For sure.
keep you on point.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's awesome. What do you love the most about training your athletes? Like, what do you enjoy the most?
I'd say seeing them, like seeing it all come together. There's, okay, one of my coaches, he tore his Achilles at the end of 23. Tore his Achilles 2023. And oh man, I was right here when he did it, right next to him. And it was sad to watch, you know? And to see him rebuild to now to where he's like gassing it, doing full speed sprints, getting the fastest he's ever been. That right there, that makes me so happy in the inside.
Yeah.
And to see my athletes do the same thing, that's what, to parallel that, to see athletes do the same thing, like that is my passion behind even coming here every day. It's the, like, hey, it's not even the buildup, it's the actual expression of the buildup. It's like, hey, I got to see you on that treadmill right there. Barely, when you first came, you could barely even hold your legs up. Now you can run that thing full speed and step off and be like, Coach Reggie, that right there, I'm like, oh, you know, it's like, that makes me feel like your dad a little bit. I'm like, man, son, come here, you know what I mean? Like, right, it's like a great feeling, man. And it makes me feel young. Yeah. I forget that, I feel like I'm their age sometimes. I'm like, oh, I'm not in high school, I forgot. Like, yeah, like, they keep me young.
Yeah. Seriously,
it gets fun. I'm thinking about it now, I get excited, like, and just, hey, seriously.
The transformation.
Yes, the transformation, man.
I love that, man. If people want to learn more about FAST or get in touch with you, like, what's the best place to do that?
You can find me on, I say you can start with Instagram at Fast World, FASTWORLDCLASS, Fast World Class, and that's same on YouTube. Also, I have a school channel, so where we have a community of athletes on there from around the world that want to increase their athleticism, be a part of a community of people encouraging each other, as well as, hey, want to become their best, you know? That's called Fast World. You can find us on the school app, and it's called School, and it's Fast World, all right?
I love that, man. I love that, man. Last final question. How do you want people to remember you as a person, outside of sports, being a gym owner, you know, kind of what's your legacy and how you like people to remember you as?
Wow, that's a good one. Before I go on, Fast Charleston as well is the facility's Instagram, Fast Charleston, FASTCHS. Oh yeah, baby. Okay, what I want to leave? Well, I say, man, that's a good one. It's like I feel it, but I'm like, to put it in the words, it is effort. You know, not like I hear the new kids say a try hard. I don't really worry about that part, but just give an effort. You know, even if it's as simple as, hey, someone just said, hey, just clean up that stuff over there for me. It's like, do really good at it. Yeah. You know, and just the simplest things, that's what I want to be remembered as well. You know, I try, of course, I'm gonna fall short of things throughout my life, and I try to remember though that, man, just slow down a little bit, you know, put a little more time into it, you know, slow down, look around, like do that extra look back to make sure you leave the building, you know, because, you know, it's good for you. It's good practice to where you want to do better, you know, and that right there is what I teach the athletes, is this short period of your life where you're being an athlete, even going to the pros, after that, then you're gonna be into general population, into the world, right? And you're gonna have to prove who you are. And that's gonna come through a series of things. People are gonna be watching you now. Like, hey, what is your purpose? Why should we have you? Why should you be with us? Yeah. And it's really through your efforts. Like, you're gonna have to put the work in, and you're gonna need to be desirable or need to feel like your presence is worthy by your work ethic. Yeah. You know? 100%. And of course, exuberate positive energy, God's love, something tangible is, hey, the work that you put in, you know?
100%.
So I'd say that. And I can say even, how I want to be remembered is loving a person that really cares and loves you for wanting to improve yourself, as well as, hey, anyone who wants to improve, you know? 100%. Because I think we all do. It's that sometimes we like, man, no one is a bad person. No one is, even people who do bad things, man, like they just need guidance. They need to hear the right things. They need to be encouraged. and they can turn their whole life around, you know?
Yeah.
It's effort, man,
I love that.
you know?
Well, dude, that was amazing, man. I appreciate your time. And
Yes, sir.
yeah, if anyone's looking to work with Reggie out there, check out Fast Charleston.
sir.
And
Charleston, baby.
we'll do it again soon.
Let's go, baby.
Thanks, man.
Let's go. Oh, we appreciate that, baby.
Yes, sir.